Hey YouTube, Sweetknives here. Thanks for checking out my channel. We are looking at the Worksharp Precision Adjust. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button right there. I promise you in the next couple weeks, there's going to be a ton of great content. I got a lot of knives to review, so you don't want to miss it. So this is a knife I reviewed already. You can check that review up there, the tabletop review. This is the Revo Warden. It's an awesome knife, and I had been using it a lot, so I wanted to try to sharpen it on this system. And so I've got this all set up in the system. One of the tricky things about this one is that it has a sweeping blade up here. So when you sharpen it on these angle type systems, you got to make sure that you have this adjusted properly, because otherwise it's not going to sharpen right. So what I did here is I moved it out a little bit this way, and I've been using the magic marker here. So you got to just draw a line with the magic marker just like that, and you want to make sure you just want to make sure you have that magic marker. Otherwise, you're not going to know where you're going. So I know that's reflecting a little bit funny in the light, but that is right. Let me zoom into that edge just a little bit. I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a couple passes. I've already been sharpening it on the 320, and now this is 600. So I want to just show you what happens when you have it set right, how this comes off. So I'm just making gentle strokes. You can see how it's perfectly getting the marker here, but what about up at the tip? You want to be very careful when you pull this off that you're not blunting that tip. So again, it's pretty much perfect, spot on this side. It's getting that marker totally off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to this other side, and I'm going to see how that other side is doing. Yeah, really good on that side too. So what happens a lot of times though is when you first start out, you may not get that marker off. And what that means is you're either going to have to work a lot more on the tip for original reprofile, because these knives weren't sharpened on an angle rod. They were most likely sharpened on a belt sander. And so you could adjust that knife as you were sharpening it. So because we're on this angle guide gauge, the first time you do it, you're going to take off a little bit of material on the tip. That's okay. That's totally okay. You just want to be careful that you do it, perfectly. And what you may have to do is you may have to tilt the whole knife like this in the vise, or you may have to move it back this way, or you may have to move it out that way, or in that way, or out that way. And the only way you're ever going to know that is by using a marker and drawing those lines. So I just want to point that out. Those are some just beginner kind of tips that you're going to run into. It's really easy to do this part right here. The heel also is sometimes tricky. So if I just move this here, sometimes the heel is a little bit funny because you got this little keel here. So there's more metal right here. Don't worry too much about that little part right there. From here on is really easy. And then the tip, you just want to adjust it in the vise to make sure it's going to be right. So let me just keep going a little bit. I'm almost done with the 600. What you want to do is you want to do about the same number of passes on each side, roughly. And you just want to kind of keep doing that till you form a burr on that side and you can feel it. And then you want to go to the next, the next side. A little bit of marker there. All right, here we go. Okay, we're going to flip it again. We're going to go back to that other side. to the other side. You just want to do this a few different times. You want to be extra careful that you don't blunt that tip. So the best way to do it is to take a stroke and just don't go down, don't push down, just keep the blade level. And if you're working it like this, keep it on there, but don't roll this. You don't want to roll that. So it does take practice. There's no other way to say it. I'm not pushing hard at all right there, but it does take practice. All right, I'm going to show you guys something cool. I already showed this in the last video, but 3M makes this product that's basically feathering disc adhesive, and I already put a little bit of that on here, but it allows you to take these sandpapers. This is 800 grit, and I'm just going to put that on my guide here, and I'm going to use 800 grit now. And when you do that, when you use 800, you just go downward. So watch, I'm just going to go down like this, because if you went up, it's not going to work right. And if, by the way, if you want to see how I applied this adhesive, just click that video that I had mentioned earlier. I'll put a link in the description and you can see. But it allows you to cut out all these different grits, because otherwise there's no really good way to get this perfect. So I'm going to go to the other side now. Same thing here, just going to keep working it. What I'm going to be able to do is put a mirror edge on this knife, which is a little bit harder if you don't use these different grit progressions. Yeah, I can feel a burr on that side. It doesn't take much because we're not removing tons of material here. Okay, we'll do a couple more. That's it. So now I'm done with 800. I'm going to just take that off. That just sticks on there really nice. Now we're going to move to 1,000 grit. The 1,000 just does the same thing. You just put it right on and then it sticks real nice. Now we got 1,000 grit on. Got to be careful if you do that. All right, ready? We'll do a couple passes on this side. Do a couple on on this other side. You can already see, oops, you can already see the edge mirroring up nice. There's a little bit of marker right on the heel of the edge there, but not a big deal. All right, we're done with 1,000. Now we'll move on to 1,500. I always think once I get to 1,500, I'm for sure getting it more refined than what the factory comes with. The original ceramic, there's no way that it's, 1,500. I think they even said it was 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. It's looking pretty good. And you guys, you're not going to get every knife perfect right away because it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. But the idea is you want to get it as good as you can. And that's all we're kind of doing a quick sharpening here. So I know it's not going to be 100% perfect, but it's going to be a lot better than it was. So again, we just take off that 1,500, and now this I believe is 2,000. And this is auto body sandpaper that I got at you can get it online or click the links in my description. I'll have links there where you can get this. Does a really good job. Okay, we're moving on to 2,500. These have to be lined up. You don't need a lot of passes. But man, that is mirroring it really good. Okay, we're going to move on now to the lapping films. If you guys don't have lapping films, I got another link right in the description for a company called Taylor Works on Amazon, and they sell a really nice set of lapping films that you can cut up and get a whole bunch of these strips. I recommend checking them out. As soon as you get to 3,000 lapping film, it really puts a hell of a mirror on this. And I'll zoom in a second and just show you. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. You know, we're not done yet, but let's just see if how well that can focus. Doesn't focus really good, does it? I don't think you can quite see that the way I want to show it. I'll show you after. Sorry, I know that's not great. Again, you don't want it. You want to kind of go straight off the tip, otherwise you're going to blunt that tip. Okay, last stage coming up. It's going to be, what is it going to be? 6,000, I think. 6,000, here we go. And you could go higher than this. I just for the sake of time and stuff, I'm not going to go higher than 6,000, but you could. It's got a really nice mirror, and this was a great way to do it with this system, because this system doesn't come with all these extra add-on type things, and you don't really have an easy way to do what I'm doing, so it worked really good using this 3M adhesive. God, this is gonna be sharp. All right, that's enough for for this video. All right, guys, I wanted to get the chart. I didn't have the chart handy, so I did get the chart. What we're shooting for on the sharpening testing system is we want to get it somewhere around 100. You know, most of the high-end cutlery edges come around 300, so we're shooting for 100 with this type of sharpening. And you know, I haven't done anything. It's still exactly just, you know, how we left it. So let's just see. We put it in there, and then we just push down on this thing and see what it registers at. So here we go. Ready? 22. That's incredible. You know, to get that kind of reading on this system is just out of this world. You know, you may, even if you're anywhere around 100 is really, really good. So to get, you know, like that, it's incredible. And if you did a few more tests, like up here and here and here and here, you might get slightly different readings. But the whole idea is that's really sharp. And I'll just prove it by cutting hair here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I mean, it just shaves that you know, almost just effortlessly popping it off. So guys, that's some of the results you can get with this Precision Work Sharp system. And if you use these adhesive papers that I got, you know, that I just bought at the store, and you can check out my other video with this tacky stuff from 3M. That's awesome stuff. I really like that. In fact, you can use any sandpapers that you want, and it works so good. I just love that. I just love that stuff. So check it out, guys. You'll turn your $50 system into a multi-$100 system. So check out some of my other videos. Have a great day, guys. Bye.